Minnesota. I'm just waiting for it to turn over to 7 PM here to start.
There you go.
Okay, I call the November 12th special meeting to order for the Independent School District number 2534 at 7 o'clock PM. Our roll call is we have all board members present. Would everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
I so move.
Second.
It's been moved by member Klaus and seconded by member Oseth to approve the agenda. Is there any discussion or changes? I'm going to bring up one point. It kind of covers a couple of topics that are on the agenda tonight. So we have at the end of the agenda to elect a new school board clerk. Currently, Greg Peppel is our clerk, right? And then we're canvassing the special election results. So the way the state statutes are written, when you, Greg is currently serving the, appointed into that seat that had been vacated by member Johnson previously. And the way the state statutes are written, that if there's more than 2 years left on the term, then that person that was elected in that special election is seated immediately after the canvassing occurs and the 7-day period. So anyhow, Greg will be leaving the board for the November meeting at the end of the month and December. And so because he's currently clerk, we can't be without a clerk to keep our board functioning. We need to elect a new clerk. So is that clear to everyone?
Maybe to add is that the reason this is happening is that Greg filed for a 4-year seat. He didn't file for the seat he had.
The
been
special
filling.
election
Yeah.
seat, correct, correct. That's an important component
Yep.
of it as well. So, but Greg will be coming back on the board in January in one of the newly elected seats for a 4-year term. So does that make sense?
Sure.
Yeah,
Somebody be a clerk for 2 months?
yeah, someone's gonna have to be a clerk for 2 months. So, okay. But any other discussion on the agenda? Any other discussion on the agenda? Okay, hearing no more discussion, let's vote to approve the agenda as published. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Oppose? Motion carries to approve the agenda. All right. I want to thank all those joining online. We have only one visitor in the room who's on the agenda later here tonight. So with that, we will move on to our new business. So the first is going to be the November 5th, 2024 general election results, in action and enclosure. So between the 3rd and 10th day following the general election, the school board shall canvass the returns and declare the results of the election. That canvass is an inspection of the returns, a totaling of the votes cast in each precinct, and a declaration by resolution. The duties of the canvassing board are limited to those specified in Minnesota Statute 204C.32 to 204C.39, with Minnesota Statute 204C31 Subdivision 3. And after the school board has satisfied itself as to the election results, it must prepare an abstract and return of votes cast and pass the necessary canvassing resolution. So with that, you'll have an enclosure 1 in your packet, and that lists the canvassing results by precinct with the votes and the totals, including all precincts in the district. That is summarized. The totals are on page 1 of 5, and 2 of 5 are the by precinct for the general election. So with that, we can move on to the resolution, and I'll read that resolution and ask for a member to move the resolution and to second it. So member
Bowen.
Bowen, move the following resolution. Be it resolved by the School Board of Independent School District Number 2534 as follows. 1, it is hereby found, determined, and declared that the general election of the voters of the district held on November 5th, 2024 was in all respects duly and legally called and held. As specified in the attached abstract and return of votes cast, a total of 2,571 voters of the district voted at said election on the election of 4 school board members for 4-year term vacancies on the board caused by expiration of term on the first Monday in January next following the general election as follows. Todd Sheehan, incumbent, 1,983. Brad Oseth, incumbent, 1,820. Greg Peppel, incumbent, 1,717. Mariella Klaus, incumbent, 1,650. And write-in, there were 101 votes. Candidates Todd Sheehan, Brad Oseth, Greg Peppel, and Mariella Klaus, having received the highest number of votes, are elected to 4-year terms beginning the first Monday in January 2025. The school district clerk is hereby authorized to certify the results of the election to the county auditor of each county in which the school district is located in whole or in part. Member Benson, excuse me, seconded the motion to approve the resolution, and upon a vote being taken therein, the following voted in favor by roll call vote.
Could I just interject here? We kind of skipped this part. We've got to approve the canvassing returns first.
Oh, and then we do the so I'm
Right.
actually on B right now.
So we've kind of skipped, yeah. So I figured this is kind of the discussion of the resolution.
Okay.
How do we want to handle it? Can we
We're,
suspend that and go back a little bit?
we can go back to that and I can just simply reread that.
Okay.
So I just read this.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm reading is on page 4 of the enclosure 1, which is the, it says, "We, the school board members of Independent School District Number 2534 Bold, certify that we have canvassed the returns of the state general election held on Tuesday, November 5th, 2024, and have herein specified the names of any candidates receiving votes and the number of votes received by each candidate, and have herein specified the number of votes for and against any ballot questions voted on in this election. As appears by the returns of the election precincts voting in this election, duly returned to, filed, opened, and canvassed, and now remaining on file in the office of the clerk of Independent School District Number 2534 Bold." And then it says, "Witness our official signatures," which would be this location in this county, this day, the 12th day of November 2024, and then we would all sign the document. So that would be pages 1 through 5. That's the motion of what we're
Yeah,
voting.
because we have to do that, and then once we've done that, then we can do the
Yep,
next part.
Correct. So is there a motion to approve the canvassing of the votes, enclosure 1, pages 1 through 5?
So moved.
Okay, it's been moved by member Bowen,
I'll second.
and it's been seconded by member Benson to canvass the election, enclosure number 1, as printed and posted online and in our board packets. Is there any discussion on the canvassing?
The official board packet and the one that you were emailed has a much longer version of this, so to save some paper, I omitted that from ours, but the official book will have the entire document in there.
Yep. Any other discussion or questions on canvassing the vote, enclosure number 1? Any other discussion? Okay, hearing no discussion, we will move to vote on approving enclosure number 1, the vote canvas. All members in favor, say aye. Aye. Oppose? Motion carries, and the general election result canvassing is passed. Okay, now we will move on to item
Do need
B.
everyone to sign this before they leave tonight, so.
Yep. So we'll move on to item B, that's to canvass and declare of the general election results. And so this is needing to adopt our resolution canvassing the returns of votes of the school district general election, as well as a resolution authorizing insurance of certificates of election and directing school district clerk to perform other election-related duties. Certificates, however, will not be issued until the 7-day contest period has expired. So I will now read the resolution. Member Bowen moved the following resolution. Be it resolved by the School Board of Independent School District Number 2534 as follows. 1, it is hereby found, determined, and declared that the general election of the voters of the district held on November 5th, 2024 was in all respects duly and legally called and held. Number 2, as specified in the attached abstract and return of votes cast, a total of 2,571 voters of the district voted at said election on the election of 4 school board members for 4-year term vacancies on the board caused by expiration of term on the first Monday in January next following the general election as follows. Todd Sheehan, incumbent, 1,983. Brad Oseth, incumbent, 1,820. Greg Peppel, incumbent, 1,717. Mariella Klaus, incumbent, 1,650. Write-in, 101. Candidates Todd Sheehan, Brad Oseth, Greg Peppel, and Mariella Klaus, having received the highest number of votes, are elected to 4-year terms beginning the first Monday in January 2025. 4, the school district clerk is hereby authorized to certify the results of the election to the county auditor of each county in which the school district is located in whole or in part. Member Benson seconded the motion to approve the resolution, and upon a vote being taken therein, the following voted in favor by roll call vote. Member Peppel. Member Oseth.
Aye.
Member Bowen.
Aye.
Member Benson.
Aye.
Member Klaus.
Aye.
Member Sheehan.
Aye.
And I, Member Frank, am an aye as well. And no one voted in opposition, and no one was absent. And this resolution is declared adopted this 12th day of November, 2024. Okay. So, canvas, this is actually, if you go back to the enclosure 1, that's essentially
Page 3.
yeah, that's has the special election results on it as well. So that'll be on page 1, which we already passed, and then page 3 has the by precinct, as well as part of page 2. So and we had already passed that, so that is the special election results have been canvassed as well.
Flip this one, and then I get that.
Yeah, and so this will be the resolution then that we're gonna read, which is canvass and declaration of the special election results, okay? So, with that, I'm gonna read the resolution. Member Oseth, move the following resolution. Be it resolved by the School Board of Independent District Number 2534 as follows. 1, it is hereby found, determined, and declared that the special election of the voters of the district held on November 5th, 2024 was in all respects duly and legally called and held. 2, as specified in the attached abstract and return of votes cast, a total of 2,571 voters of the district voted at said election on the question of election of 1 school board member of Independent School District Number 2534 for the remaining 2-year term vacancy on the board as follows. Brad Redera, 2003, write-in 48. Candidate Brad Redera, having received the highest number of votes, is elected to the remaining 2-year term effective immediately. Number 4, the school district clerk is hereby authorized to certify the results of the election to the county auditor of each county in which the school district is located in whole or in part. Member Klaus seconded the motion to approve the resolution, and upon a vote being taken therein, the following voted in favor by roll call vote. Member Oseth.
Aye.
Member Peppel,
Aye.
Member Bowen,
Aye.
Member Benson,
Aye.
Member Klaus,
Aye.
Member Sheehan,
Aye.
and I, Member Frank, am an aye as well. And no members voted in opposition, and no members were absent. And this resolution is declared adopted this 12th day of November, 2024. Okay. Thank you guys for your patience and with me on this. I have not done this before. Okay. We're moving on to item D. So that's to approve our sealed bids. That's going to be enclosure 4 in the packet. Is there a motion?
So moved, Pepple.
Is there a second? It's been moved by Member Peppel and seconded by Member Sheehan to approve the sealed bids listed in enclosure 4 in the packet and online. Is there any discussion? Nicole, are you here for questions, or do you have info you want to provide?
Just all the bid information, the rebid information, so, for approval.
Okay. Is there any discussion or questions? Any discussion or questions? Any discussion? Okay. Seeing that we have no discussion, we will move forward with voting on approving the sealed bids as listed in enclosure 4. That's in our board packet and printed online. All members in favor of approving the sealed bid package, say aye. Aye. Oppose? The motion carries and the sealed bid package has been approved. Okay. So we will now move on to item E. To that is to approve a resolution to support the school's application to the Minnesota State High School League Foundation for a Form A grant to offset student activity fees. This will be enclosure 5 in the packet. I'll read the resolution. Resolution of governing board supporting Form A application to Minnesota State High School League Foundation. Whereas the Minnesota State High School League Foundation was formed to provide support for Minnesota's high school youth to participate in athletics and fine arts, whereas the governing board of Bold School District, ISD number 2534, recognizes the value of student participation in extracurricular activities, and whereas the MSHSL Foundation is offering grants and funding to assist schools in recognizing, promoting, and funding extracurricular participation by high school students in athletic and fine arts. Therefore, be it resolved that the governing board of School District ISD number 2534 supports the school's application to the Minnesota State High School League Foundation for a Form A grant to offset student activity fees. Is there a member who wants to put that resolution forth?
I will. Bowen.
Okay. Is there a member who wants to second the resolution?
I'll second
It's been moved by Member Bowen and seconded by Member Benson to put forth this resolution I just read. Is there any discussion on the resolution?
Is this the first time that we've received a grant for this, or has this been something prior?
I believe it's the first time, Jim. The question was, is this the first time that we'll be receiving a grant for this?
I guess I do not know the answer. I don't know if they did this last year or not.
I don't recall this being done in the past. And I don't think any other, like Sandy and Brian, you've been on the board longer than any of us.
I don't remember ever doing it. I know that the Minnesota State High School League in the last few years was really struggling for money after the COVID, because they got all their funds came through state tournaments and things, and then when those were canceled, so they've restructured their financial setup so that schools pay more up front, and that way they know what monies they have, and then the state tournaments add to it. So I think they maybe, I'm just guessing here, but they may have more funding now available to them that if they don't use it in a year, they can give it back to the schools,
Yeah,
possibly.
that could very well be part of it. I do know that our fees for the high school league were quite a bit lower this year because they were flush, so.
It's a great opportunity for kids that need some support.
Oh, for sure.
To participate.
So any other discussion? Any other discussion? Any other discussion? Okay, we'll be moving forward with a roll call vote. Member Peppel,
Aye.
Member Asseth,
Aye.
Member Bowen,
Aye.
Member Benson,
Aye.
Member Klaus,
Aye.
Member Sheehan,
Aye.
and I, Member Frank, am an aye as well. No one is voting against and no one is absent. This resolution is hereby adopted November 12th, 2024. All right, we are now on to item F. That's to approve a resolution to support the school's application to the Minnesota State High School League Foundation for a Form B grant, and that's enclosure 6 in the packet and online. So I will read the resolution. Whereas the Minnesota State High School League Foundation was formed to provide support for Minnesota's high school youth to participate in athletics and fine arts, whereas the governing board of Bold School District Number 2534 recognizes the value of student participation in extracurricular activities, and whereas the MSHSL Foundation is offering grants and funding to assist schools to provide seminars/training, opportunities, or support for specific school functions for students, faculty members, officials, and others who are involved in athletic and fine arts programs. Therefore, be it resolved that the governing board of Bold School District ISD number 2534 supports the school's application to the Minnesota State High School League Foundation for a Form B grant. Is there a member willing to put this resolution forward?
I will.
Is there a second? It's been moved by Member Klaus and seconded by Member Sheehan to put this resolution forth. Is there any discussion on the resolution?
Is there a top of this grant, like a top and a bottom, or is it just one set amount?
We're gonna be
Or-
applying for, I believe it's $520 to offset the cost of our impact testing.
Any other discussions or questions? Any other discussion? Other discussion? Okay, hearing no discussion, more discussion that is, we will move to vote using a roll call vote. Member Peppel,
Aye.
Member Asseth.
Aye.
It takes me longer to write than to call this out. Member Bowen,
Aye.
Member Benson,
Aye.
Member Klaus,
Aye.
Member Sheehan,
Aye.
and I, Member Frank, am an aye. No one is voting against, and no one is absent from the board. So I hereby call this resolution adopted November 12th, 2024.
Todd, could we maybe relook at this? Todd Sheehan just pointed something out here, and I think we probably need to have a discussion on the bids. Specifically, there was a second part to this, where,
So I just need a motion to, okay, I gotta think about my parley procedure here for a second, because we had approved it, and the discussion's done,
well, let me just throw this out there. I think we need to do this because we approved the bids, but we didn't have a discussion about the alternate bids that are recommended by the Facilities Committee. So that's,
okay.
Which is kind of separate from.
Yep. Okay,
it should have been part of that, and I should have thought to mention that here.
okay. I didn't realize that was not,
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
if I had, I would not have,
yeah.
we would have,
Can we go back and negate what was done?
yeah, I think because we're still in session, I believe I can take a motion to rescind the action, and then we can open up a new motion on it, and then vote on that motion.
Yeah.
So, okay, give me a second here to write something here.
Thank you, Todd. Well, no,
Good catch.
no, we, yeah. Want to do it right.
We go, Todd.
Okay. All right. So, I will entertain a motion to rescind the motion to approve the sealed bids.
When I'm looking on here, it says approve sealed bids. That's just the sealed bids. Could you just add another
To discuss the alternates.
discussion on the bottom of it instead of rescinding and going back? Because this is not discussing the sealed bids, this is discussing the addition.
The alternates.
So couldn't we make an addition on here to H? Say H,
Yeah, we had already approved our agenda though, so we can't add a new agenda item either.
Probably easier to continue with this, and since we have a motion on the table, and
Yeah, since there was an approved,
Yeah.
it'd be easy to do.
that's fine.
And everyone is understanding what we're doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, can, and so, is someone willing to put forth a motion to approve rescinding the approval of the sealed bids? That was item D.
I wonder if it has to be Brian, because he's.
Correct. Well, actually, it needs to be Greg because he made the motion.
So
Oh, I
move.
thought it was, yeah.
Yep, you're
Whoever
right.
was- Whoever had the,
Yep. So,
So move Heppel to
I thought it was you.
rescind.
Member Sheehan, are you willing to second that since you had seconded the original motion?
Yes, I am.
something else? you-
Okay, so it's been moved to rescind approving the sealed bids motion that we had previously enacted at this meeting. And is there any discussion on that? That motion was made by Member Peppel and seconded by Member Sheehan.
So we're going back and we can discuss alternate
Yes.
bids, correct?
Yes.
So the alternate bids,
well, we're not
We're
discussing
not doing
those right
that,
now.
we're not
just-
doing that.
The other-
Is there any discussion about rescinding that motion? Or rescinding that action we took? Any discussion about rescinding that action? Okay, we're gonna move on, voting to rescind the approval of the sealed bids that we did in item D. All members in favor of rescinding what the previous approval at this meeting of the sealed bids approval, say aye. Aye. Oppose? Okay, motion carries to rescind. All right, now, give me a second here.
How's it working out, Nancy?
Now I will entertain a motion to, back to enclosure number 4, approving the sealed bids, and that motion will state, to approve the sealed bids and, what is it?
Include alternates
And alternates,
1, 4, and 5.
and include alternates 1, 4, and 5. Is there a motion for that?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved by Member Sheehan and seconded by Member Bowen to approve the sealed bids and include alternates 1, 4,
And 5.
and 5. Okay, is there any discussion on that? So maybe we should have some
Yeah.
discussion about what that is.
1, 4, and
and
5 were
what's-
just recommended by the facilities committee.
Yeah, so
Looking at it.
they're fine with the bids. We've got Nicole here that can maybe give us some numbers, but essentially, there were 5 alternates proposed that we've been discussing. They would like to go through with the toilet remodel on the north side of the gym in Olivia, where the current concession stand is. They're recommending we reconfigure that for storage, because storage is incredibly valuable. And then the alternate 5 would be the toilet in Bird Island. What the proposal is by the gym in Bird Island, there's the girls, and then just south of that is the boys' bathroom. They're looking at creating one boys' bathroom there, and then on the opposite side of the hall, a girls' restroom. It'll give us twice the amount of space. The girls' bathroom will actually be slightly larger than the boys', but you know, when we when we go have programs over there, the bathroom space is slim.
Inadequate.
So this will help with that. Nicole, is there anything you want to add on that since we?
You actually did it very well.
Oh.
I was gonna say about the change, but you mentioned that we're gonna do girls on one side and boys on the other.
Okay. The reason we're not moving forward with the other two alternates, those are the gym floor here in Olivia, and then we talked about a parking area for drop-off with, for early childhood. We don't want to spend up everything we've got. We want to make sure that there is some money left over, money available to us, I should say, when we do the demolition over here on the northwest side of the school, because who knows what we're going to find. We've still got $2 million in contingency anyway, but this just pads that a little bit more for us. I don't know if anybody from the facilities committee wants to weigh in, or.
It's not we're against either one of those. The facilities committee is not against either one of those alternatives. It's just that the fact that we can do those at any time, maybe possibly later on in the construction phase, when we find out, like Jim said, if we don't run into any issues, then at that time we can decide, well, we've got money, we can go ahead and do some of these alternates.
So it
Yeah.
fits within the budget, and it gives us the flexibility to still add those other two alternates in if the budget allows it and everything at the end.
Correct. We can still
Okay.
pursue those up until almost the end of the program or
Yeah.
project, so.
And in the meantime, over here, I can talk with the city to see if they'd be willing to put some picking up, dropping off, parking only right out in front here, so this winter, people don't have to park, because what happens is people are parking way over on the other street, carrying a kid or two, walking through the ice, the slush, the wind, the blizzards, whatever we got here, hauling their kids in and then back out to their vehicle, and it would be really convenient for them if they're much closer.
And it's mainly staff parking along the road here.
Mainly staff parking, and there's a spot for the RCC bus too.
The one other thing I just wanted to mention too is alternate 2 and 3, which are the gym floor and that parking area. That's about another $464,000 investment. So those three that we are looking at approving are $363,400. So it's not quite half of the whole package. So
And can I just throw in one thing too?
Yeah.
You mentioned that this will add to the 2 million contingency. This makes it a $2
Yeah.
million contingency, not adding to that. So with not doing those two, it puts in the contingency bucket and makes the contingency bucket a 2 million.
I misspoke on that. Yeah.
Which is still an adequate contingency fund, Nicole?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And the thought was that once we get through demoing the building, soils, all that stuff, that once we get through the big stuff, if we still have a good amount of contingency, we'll feel a lot more comfortable and possibly proceed with some of these.
And I think the other thing to just keep in mind too is, and I don't want to speak for you, Nicole, but as far as it seemed like there was comfort level if we did approve all 5 of them, but the board kind of was being a little more apprehensive just to have that extra, knowing that that northwest corner may have larger contingencies. So
Yeah,
there's
the
just
other
a little
thing-
more conservative approach.
Yeah, sorry about that. The other thing with the Olivia gym floor, there's no way we'd be able to do that immediately anyway, because it's gonna be chaotic around here. To be able to put that off towards the end of the project will actually help immensely with space issues. So, but it is still important, as Brian was saying earlier, before the meeting started, somebody had asked why the girls are playing basketball over in the other gym. People are getting leg injuries running around on the hard floor here, so that's why we're doing that. And the facilities committee also agreed that this is important for us to do in the future if we can afford it. But for now, we're just gonna put it aside.
Okay. So it's my assumption the facilities committee was obviously to bring it forward to the board was in favor of doing it, and there weren't any major concerns with this. Okay.
We didn't have a formal vote of anything sort, but I don't think there was anybody speaking out against it.
Okay.
It was just general consensus.
Any other discussion? I mean, this is a big one.
Thanks to
Any
the
other-
facilities committee for setting it up. Sounds right.
It's very nice having the facilities committee discuss and vet and then bring it forward to the board. That's very appreciated.
And there's nothing saying we can't pursue these. I mean, that's the main thing, is we can always pursue them down the road if there's funding there, so. So we're really not out anything at this point.
And I'll talk to the city tomorrow about maybe some,
Do you want to speak to the slight risk that we'd be looking at, not approving those two at this point?
I mean, the one thing I brought up was that not approving it now, the cost can change. It could go up or down, depending on what's going on with the economy or, you know, cost of goods and so forth. So that's the only thing is the gym floor, you know, it's quoted at this dollar amount. If we do it a year, 2 years from now, it could be a different price.
Okay. Any other discussion? Any other discussion? Any other discussion? Okay, we're gonna proceed then to vote on the motion to approve the bid package 02 worth $7,154,332 and the additions of alternate 01, alternate 04, and alternate 05 for a total of $363,396. All members in favor of the bid package with the three alternates, say aye. Aye. Oppose? The motion carries to approve the bid package with the three alternates. Okay. All right, we are now ready to move on to item G, and that is to elect a new school board clerk effective immediately through January 6th, 2024. Is there a motion?
So move Peppel.
Is there a second? It's been moved by member Peppel and seconded by member Klaus to elect a new school board clerk effective immediately through January 6, 2024. The chair would entertain we'll do this first, and then we'll do an election of the office. That we're going forward, that we're electing a clerk, and then we'll do the office. Does that make sense to everybody?
yeah, it was written poorly by me, so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
What are the duties of the clerk?
the duties of the clerk are to sign documents that are like board minutes, resolutions, and so forth, and to keep a record, minutes of the meeting officially, and, yeah.
yeah.
And plus, they have financial signatory as well for the district, along with the treasurer and the chair. This is a good question. Any other discussion on moving forward to elect a new clerk? Okay. Okay, all members in favor of electing a new school board clerk effective immediately through January 6th, say aye. Aye. Oppose? Okay, motion carries. The chair will entertain names for the new school board clerk. Is there any nominations put forth?
I'll volunteer.
So Todd Sheehan is nominating himself. Any other nominations? Any other nominations?
Be okay.
I'll nominate Mary Ellen.
Okay, we have two nominations. So we have Mariella Klaus and Todd Sheehan nominated. Is there any other nominations? we're down to having only two other options at this point anyhow, so. Any other nominations? Okay, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion that nominations cease.
So moved.
Is there a second that nominations cease?
I so moved.
So it's been moved by member Asseth and seconded by member Klaus that nominations will cease for school board clerk. Any discussion? Any discussion? Okay. Hearing no discussion, we'll vote that nominations are ceasing. That's all we're voting on. All members in favor that nominations cease, say aye. Aye. Oppose? Motion carries that nominations cease. All right, now we will vote on the two nominations. So I just do a voice vote. All members in favor of member Sheehan as clerk, raise your right hand. Got 1, 2, 3. Okay. Anyone else? Okay. All members in favor of member Klaus as clerk, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I'm as chair, then get to decide and vote. It's a temporary office. I'm gonna vote for member Sheehan only for the fact that he's been on the board slightly longer than you have, member Klaus. So that's
Another nomination.
what's going into factor my decision.
That's the only, that was the only reason I
Okay.
So with that, I declare member Sheehan the new school board clerk effective immediately through January 6th. Okay. We've got the upcoming dates. So November 25th, that Monday at 6:30 PM, we meet for our proposed property tax payable 2025 hearing. And then at 7 PM, we have our regular school board meeting. And then on December 16th is the continuation hearing for the property taxes payable 2025, if it's necessary. And then January 6th will be that should be actually January 6th, 2025, not 2024. That's our reorganization meeting. And then the MSBA Leadership Conference on the 17th. So,
You should have all, except Brian, gotten something in your email from the hotel. If you didn't, let me know.
okay, I
So-
gotta check.
Okay.
All right.
Should've got something from the hotel.
From the hotel, yeah, confirming you have a room.
The room, okay, I'll have to double check that.
It was around, it was beginning of October, about October 10th or so that I did it. So let me know if you don't have a room.
Yep.
And you plan on going.
Just a reminder after the meeting that we need everyone to put their signature on a document before you leave the room. And with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
It's been moved by member Benson and seconded by member Bowen
Yeah, I guess.
to adjourn at, let me think, 7:43 PM.
Next time I'll slow it.
Any discussion? Any discussion? All in favor of adjourning, say aye. Aye. Opposed?